Let me find out. SmackDown 10/21/22 is focusing on characters. Let me find out that WWE is finally putting the spotlight on character development. Let me find out. Bray Wyatt continues to captivate the entire professional wrestling world, taking us on a journey to a whole new level of intrigue. Liv Morgan is taking her talents to the extreme, tearing her way through the women's division, much to the dismay of those that turned their backs on Liv Morgan just a couple of months ago. Here she is. She heard the words, her title reign sucks, she's boring, it's not working. And here she is, blazing her way to the top of the division once more. Even Damage Control being booked in an actual tag team match, looking like a tag team, looking like a badass tandem. Io and Dakota finally getting the spotlight they should have had since SummerSlam. LA Knight even gets his own video package. Character development, could it be? On SmackDown last night, even Omos was booked last night like a believable, a realistic giant. Somebody that would manhandle motherfuckers. Even somebody like Braun Strowman. Even Omos. They found a way to finally book him correctly in a short but sweet segment. We talk all about it coming up in this review for SmackDown. Speaking of sweet, BC's got his coffee, he's got his caffeine, but BC is taking it to another level himself this morning. It's very early, so we need a little bit more than just the caffeine, so BC took it upon himself when he hit up Dunkin' Donuts this morning. I got myself a couple Halloween treats, if you don't mind. A couple of the new Halloween Dunkin' Donuts. Bro, we got the Spiderweb Donut. That's right. I'm guessing that's just a munchkin in a fucking pullover glazed donut. And then you got the Pumpkin Lord donut from Dunkin' Donuts. Check that motherfucker out. Pure frosting and chocolate. And I don't know if this is a sheer white cream donut or it is a yellow Boston cream type of donut. We're going to find out together, because what BC's going to do is I'm going to fucking take a bite out of both, and I'm going to tell you guys which one is the winner. We're going to have a little bit of fucking Dunkin' Donut Halloween Bash War matchup. Hell at Halloween. Pumpkin Lord versus the Spiderweb. Collide. So I'm going to find out who the winner is, man. I haven't had these donuts yet. I don't know what type of frosting that is. It could just be like a fucking chocolate orange. I don't know. I'm going to fucking find out right now who the winner is. We're going to come back. We're going to do the SmackDown review for October 21st, 2022. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to have Sasha kick it off by hitting my motherfucking music. Let's start off with the Spiderweb donut. How about that? That's it. Let's start off. Spiderweb. Let's see how this is, man. Gotta get a big bite into the munchkin, right? Do it. Everything you know that you can get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love. I'm pure fucking sugar, bro. My past is filled with things. There's glaze on top of the fucking munchkin on top of the glaze. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, pumpkin figure out what you like. The pumpkin lore. Surround yourself with open minds. People can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a white and try to enjoy white cream. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you're down. The winner is the Pumpkin Lord. The Pumpkin Lord is the winner. Fuck yeah. Salute. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Then it's your chance Cut that shit. Sasha, cut my music. Let's cut it. Cut it. My amplified unit. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Wake up. Get amplified. Come on, man. Get your caffeine. Whatever your drink of choice is on this early morning, or maybe it's afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining BC on this review, man. My tried and trues, salute. Was it Dante Jaron 23, by the way? Let me make sure I got that correct. Super thanks, man. Dante Jaron 23 throwing a coffee over to BC in yesterday's video. I knew it, man. Yeah, it is. I can confirm. Dante Jaron 23 throwing BC a coffee on a regular video yesterday. Dude, so much appreciated, man. I appreciate those even more than the super chats and in live streams. I really do, because the edited videos and all that takes a lot of time too. But as a content creator, I just love I love regular videos where it's a little bit more of a production, but I feel like I'm giving you guys a lot more value. It's not just a train wreck. I know a lot of you guys love live streams, and today everybody seems to do a live stream almost every video. But as a content creator, we are left unfulfilled. We really are, man. There's like a void. It's not that special to do live streams. If you're BC, if you got the gift to gab, you can obviously do a 10-hour live stream. But to be a true content creator, man, the vids is my passion. That's where I feel you guys are getting the best of BC. And so to throw BC a coffee, it's never needed. I'm always going to have plenty of coffee anyway. But just to see another level of support for the vids, man, when you guys smash that up, when you throw BC a coffee on the regular videos, the reviews, the edited vids, man, those are the best, and they're not even that heavily edited either. Most of them are not. It's just like one fucking long take. Once in a while, I'll fucking do a split. But Dante Jaron 23, I wanted to give you a shout out, man. Obviously, man, you didn't have to do that. Throw BC that coffee, but the fact that you did put you on another level, dude. So all my super thankers, dude, you guys never have to smash that button down below and send BC a special thanks. But the fact that you fucking do, the fact that all you guys, this is totally free, this is all I ask, man. The fact that you smash that fucking up and help the algorithm out, you guys are the best, dude. I say that all the time, though. I sound like a broken record, but I mean it. It's people like Dante Jaron 23. Much love and appreciation, man. But wherever you are, man, let's get amplified. Let's get right into it. We've waited long enough. We thanked my amplified unit like Dante Jaron 23. We ate fucking Dunkin' Donuts. We drank a lot of coffee, and we haven't even gotten into the review yet. Let's do this. Opening contest scheduled for one fall. Remember they used to do that, and Vince used to hate it, so he stopped the pause. Did he even stop doing one fall? I think Vince made them stop saying one fall even. He used to hate when the announcer would say, the following contest is scheduled for one fall. Remember old Howard Finkel? And after opening contest, there would be a pause, and Howard Finkel would really lay into it. And everybody would then jump in, one fall, before the announcer even fucking breaks it. Vince used to hate that, bro. Boiled his fucking skin. He started turning inside out to the point where he told them not to even fucking do it anymore. And I have to really listen now if they even do that. I still don't think they do. Anyway, opening contest scheduled for one fall. Sheamus versus Solo Sikoa. 13-minute match. Good back and forth seesaw match. More importantly, it's the type of physical banger that Sheamus should be involved in, right? You think of matches like Sheamus and Gunther, but Sheamus and Solo is also one of those physical matches that kind of jumps off the page at you. It's one of those matches that makes you go, damn, Solo, Sheamus, one-on-one? I think I'm going to go ahead and put the remote control down. Sheamus and Sikoa just adds another level of intrigue that's above average. Thanks to outside interference from Sami Zayn, there's a shocker, Sikoa hits the spinning Solo finisher and pins Sheamus middle of the ring. They really worked on his arm during the match too, and this would set up what happened post-match, where the Bloodline leans Sheamus against the steps, the steel steps outside. They leaned Sheamus against those steel steps. They took a chair, they threaded his arm through the chair, leaned it on top of the steel steps. I believe they took the top of the steps off, so it's just the bottom ring of the steps. And they put Sheamus's arm on top of the steps while it's still threaded through the steel chair. At this point, the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, grabbed a steel chair, one apiece, and they both started hammering down on the arm of Sheamus, on top of the steel chair and the arm. It was threaded through one steel chair, and then two others are slamming down while the arm is on steel steps. I mean, it looked badass, man. I mean, in theory, if you just go over that on paper, you go, man, if we can pull that off, that'd be pretty badass. But the fact that they pulled it off so gruesomely, I mean, watching it in real time and then watching the replay, I had the same reaction. Damn! That legit looks badass. That looks real. That looks like they're actually snapping this dude's fucking arm. Or at least shattering it in 76 different pieces. I mean, it looked really badass, man. If you guys didn't catch the show, if you got a few moments later in the day and you want to check out a segment or two, I absolutely recommend checking out the end of this match. The post-match extracurricular activities where Sheamus just gets his arm absolutely shattered. Now, later in the night, Michael Cole says that there was like a broken fragment in his elbow or something like that, Michael Cole said. I would think so. You know, this is coming from somebody who snapped his elbow in half, man, playing football back in the day. Got tackled, shattered. I wish I fucking had another arm to shadow that arm, but I shattered the arm. I dislocated my elbow and at the same time broke fragments of the bone. So I dislocated and fractured it in several places. It was crazy, man. They had to snap the arm back in half, and to this day, it doesn't go all the way. I have about 95% it goes down. So, but the weird thing is, if you ever saw the movie Rookie of the Year, it's about a kid who he's playing baseball with his buddies, and he's playing baseball like Little League or something, and he falls on his arm and he breaks it. And when he recuperates, his arm is now it's like a super arm. He's got like superpowers and like he can throw a fastball like 100 plus. So the Chicago Cubs actually hire him. This kid, he's like a fucking 12-year-old kid, and he's a pitcher for the Cubs. And he's just got a power arm. Well, that's kind of what happened to BC, man. Ever since, man, I was hitting the bar rooms. I was taking out 10 motherfuckers a night. Boom, boom, boom. Shattering fucking faces, leaving like a badass, trying to avoid the fucking popos. You heard the sirens, you know they were coming from me. I'm running, man. Jumping fences. But I had a fucking power arm after that, man. It helped me in the gym to this day. And yeah, so in a weird way, it fucking helped me out. Lex Luger that's an old school situation with Lex Luger. If you guys remember in WWE, when he went to WWF, his move was the elbow knockout, because in real life he got into an accident and he shattered his arm, and he had like a plate or plates put into his arm for his elbow. So he started fucking knocking people out with the plates. He had a super arm with his elbow. I'll never forget that. So BC puts himself in the category of Rookie of the Year and Lex Luger, man. I now have a fucking bionic arm, basically, a super arm. Pretty badass. So anyway, my point is, maybe Sheamus can come back better than ever and use this in his storyline. Like, now he's got a fucking knockout type of power elbow to deliver. Who knows? Put that with the bro kick, this dude's arsenal could just have jumped up tenfold. But it was badass, bro. It was absolutely badass. Yeah, it was completely brutal. It was just, sick. Sick, bro. That's all I'll say about it. I could go on another 20 minutes. It was an absolutely, really good way to beat the shit out of Sheamus. If you're going to, realistically, and make Sheamus save face, like, you can't just have Sheamus look like a fucking idiot, lose the match, and then get the shit kicked out of him afterwards. You better have a plan. Sami Zayn with the distraction saves face on the loss. I don't think Sheamus lost too much on that. He was basically, it was 4-on-1, because the Usos were also at ringside. And then post-match, Even it was still 4-on-1 with steel chairs and steel steps. And only then was Sheamus taken out for good. No harm, no foul for Sheamus. Bloodline reigns supreme. Moving on, Bray Wyatt, and he had a, I can fucking speak. Trying to decipher BC on a Saturday morning. System processing. What is he saying? System overload. BC has lost it. All right, more caffeine. All right, let's try this again. Bray Wyatt with an... See, I get so fucking invested in what Bray's doing. I get so excited, I fumble over the fucking words. Bray Wyatt with an incredible message filmed backstage. Wyatt talks his confessions of wanting to be left alone while he was away. Wanting all of us to stop saying his name. Just leave him alone. But he's glad we didn't. We helped rip the spears out of his back. And now he sees clearly on his path. He says on his journey, he's going to do horrible, horrible things, and he will not feel bad about them. He says now he's just a servant that goes where the circle takes him. What the fuck does that mean? And then later with fucking Howdy Dumpty or whatever the fuck we're calling this dude, the new mask character, and then you have the fucking Howdy character. People thinking it's Bo Dallas. What the fuck are we doing? I'm loving this on a whole nother realm. I already knew I was going to because it's Bray Wyatt. I mean, the guy's a creative genius. Just sit back and enjoy his creativity. Even the Firefly fucking Funhouse. Say what you want about it. It was the only entertaining part of the show for months and months. Monday Night Raw otherwise was a fucking drag with nothing to talk about. I know because I was reviewing the show at the time. And the Firefly Funhouse, consistently, week after week, was the only thing of relevance that got BC excited or interested to talk about the next day. I mean, that's just Bray Wyatt. I don't have to sell you on that, and I've already done plenty of that anyway since he's returned. So all I'll say about this fucking segment is now he's taking us on a whole nother level of a journey to intrigue. The destination to where Bray's taking us, I have no fucking idea, but the luggage is packed, the car is fucking packed up, we're on the fucking highway. I'm on the fucking journey with Bray on this. I'm on the journey and I can't wait to see the fucking... I hope there's no fucking destination for a long time. Let's continue on the fucking journey. Let's all take a long fucking ride. Because this is incredible. This isn't just one of those situations where a dude comes back and because you haven't seen him in a while, you give him a big pop. Wow, it's Bray. Okay, everything back to normal, right? The booking will be lame. No, he comes out, he cuts a killer promo last week and everybody's buzzing about that. And we're like, damn, okay. 2 straight appearances by Bray and everyone's still fucking going ballistic over this shit. And here we are a week later, last night, just a backstage filmed promo. And the world is even buzzing even more so about Bray Wyatt. The QR codes got everybody invested and interested and excited. When those QR codes were popping up, man, the whole wrestling world was trying to decipher the Da Vinci Code, trying to break the padlock to Fort Knox. We couldn't get the code. We couldn't get the code, man. Everybody's trying to decipher what is this white rabbit shit. We know it's Bray after a while, but we're still intrigued as to what all of the clues mean. So then Bray debuts, and we think, okay, well, that was fun while it lasted. No, we're still intrigued. We don't know what the fuck. How many characters does Bray have? Is he going to be playing them all? Does he have other people that he's working with? Is his own brother Bo Dallas involved? There's so many fucking... I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, bro. There's endless possibilities when you have a creative genius like Bray, and Triple H doesn't have to worry about it. Because Triple H has 3 other fights. He's doing Raw, he's doing SmackDown. He's got his fucking hands dipped with Shawn Michaels in NXT now. Pay-per-view, he's got all of this going on, and he can depend that Bray Wyatt is going to have his shit figured out. Obviously, Triple H will be the final vehicle to approve shit like Vince used to be, and I think Vince is still doing shit, by the way, but that's another story. You got somebody like Bray, you can take a breath. I mean, it's a thing of fucking beauty. And what Bray Wyatt is doing, the journey that he's taking us on, I can't fucking say enough how it is so fun. It is so fucking fun to actually watch a wrestling program and be intrigued again. I can't tell you guys in 10 years if I've been in a long time. MJF and Bray Wyatt. Those are the two names. MJF, Bray Wyatt. That when they're on the TV, I'm honestly like, fuck, this is good. Roman Reigns, when he first turned heel. I still like Roman as a heel, by the way, in what he's doing. Well, I don't know about too much anymore. I don't know what happened with Roman, man. They stopped using him. His new contract allows him to fucking just work once. It's weird, man. He's still in his prime, I feel. It's got to be a health thing, I would think, right, guys? I mean, there's no reason at this age, still in his prime, that he would be getting like an old-timers type of contract where you're working once or twice a month and wrestling once every 2 months or whatever he's doing. Seems really weird what they're doing with Roman. But when Roman first turned heel, remember the family feud with Jimmy Uso or Jay, and then Jay came, whatever the fuck it was, Jimmy came later. The family feud was fucking just incredible, and that left BC so intrigued, you know. MJF and Wardlow and what they had going on left BC intrigued. Bray Wyatt and The Fiend actually left BC intrigued so many times, and now I got that feeling again. It seems to always be those two guys, MJF, Bray Wyatt. And if they can get Roman back on track, it would be Roman again. You know, I can't wait till Cody gets back and maybe Cody and Roman can start their program. The Rock and Roman, I'm still waiting for. So we'll see, man. But this was just this just left us with so many questions. Nobody knows where this is going. There was another QR code, by the way, and I think what people have discovered is that it leads to like Bray's psych evaluation. We don't know exactly when this evaluation was taken. It just says his birth date, which is, I believe, May 23rd, 1987. And then there's a number you get. It's a client ID, but people were smart enough to know that Bray never does anything without it leading to something. So the client ID led to it was a phone number, and I guess it leads to an old David Bowie song. Oh, man, I don't even... If you guys got a second... No, I don't need it. I already got that queued, Sash. Thank you. Okay, slight cut there because I wanted to actually get this up. It's if you call that number, it's a David Bowie or Nirvana song. Well, I don't know why Nirvana is with... Did they do a collaboration? Did Nirvana do a David Bowie, like a remake? But David Bowie or Nirvana are involved in this. The lyrics from the song, The Man Who Sold the World. And if you call the number, it says, oh no, not me, I never lost control. Who knows? Not me, we never lost control. I mean, just everything this guy does, you got to remember that there's a point to it. I mean, never just look at something and go, oh, that's cute, or oh, that's nice. No, it's a detail that needs to be deciphered. That's what makes everything that Bray does so much fucking fun. So you got the psych evaluation there. Later in the night, you got fucking Uncle Howdy or Howdy Doody or whatever the fuck we're doing with this character. He's fucking showing up, man. Everyone's thinking it's his brother Bo and not him playing the character. I have no idea. And for anybody that goes, man, this is pro wrestling? Absolutely. Absolutely, this is pro wrestling. It's not your fucking 6-star gymnastic clinic matches that Melty Boy is fucking sitting at home rating with his fucking notepad. No, that's not professional wrestling. Two dudes with black tights that can do a bunch of fucking flips and dives and moonsaults and hurricanranas and suicide dives and 450 planchas and 620 shooting stars and falling from the fucking falling from the top of the arena with 850 fucking flips in between the fucking ceiling and his opponent. That's not pro wrestling, bro. Professional wrestling is larger-than-life characters and storylines that captivate us. The wrestling, the matches, that's just a fucking destination to the whole fucking journey. That's the culmination of the feud. Or it should be anyway. You know, that's just where you see the two dudes actually fucking settle the beef. Somehow in 2022, we're actually treating this shit like it's real competition. Tournaments have overtaken storylines. Like we're actually trying to find out who the best wrestler in the world is. It's all scripted. It's predetermined. It's heavily rehearsed. And we're treating it like it's the NFL fucking playoffs. Major League Baseball's playoffs. And in 2022, people are getting upset that we're taking time to do this with Bray. Or that there's a fucking storyline and character development. What are you doing, man? Believe it or not, there was a time where pro wrestling was fun to watch. It was actually fun, like intriguing, like it was a television show that from the start, you'd put the remote control down. And when it ended, there was a cliffhanger that left you in awe. Like you just watched a really good movie for 2 hours. A cliffhanger, so you needed to tune in the next week. You just didn't want to. That's how we used to watch wrestling. These days, it's like, maybe I'll tune in next week. Maybe not. That was a funny moment. Okay, what a show. Okay. Going to catch Pokemon now. Nobody's fucking watching these shows intrigued to come back next week. Now, with people like Bray Wyatt, I mean, it's happening, man. So I had to spend extra time on that because when I talk about Bray Wyatt, I just get fucking excited. It's fun. What is happening? And that's one dude can do that. You see that with AEW with MJF. You see it in WWE with Bray Wyatt. It takes one fucking dude to totally change the whole fucking feel of a show and an organization. Unreal. So I am so fucking intrigued with what happens next and just going forward with Bray Wyatt because it's just, we are on a wild fucking ride right now. Insane ride where every week we have more questions than answers and it's so fucking intriguing. Up next, another son of a bitch where I'm just fucking so high on her work right now, Liv Morgan. I've been so high on Liv Morgan's work. The end of last year when she was having those matches with Becky Lynch, and I told you guys, like, wow, this is the best work of Liv's career. And then she wins the Money in the Bank contract. She cashes in. She wins the championship. Everybody pops really hard, and then it seems like instantly everybody turned their backs on Liv Morgan. Oh, she's boring. The title reign sucks. This isn't cutting it. She needs to do something. And here she is, man. She never stopped doing the best work of her career. People just gave up on her. But here she is, once again, elevating herself. And Liv Morgan has this now extreme character. And for women, you don't see that often. Not even with Ronda fucking Rousey. You feel like Liv Morgan is more extreme than Ronda Rousey these days. Liv Morgan versus Sonya Deville. This is set up from last week when Morgan absolutely annihilated Deville backstage. This was an 8-minute match, ending with a double count out as Morgan was more concerned with beating the suit jacket out of Deville than the actual victory. So I don't mind this double count out. Liv Morgan just went to another place, another time zone, another fucking distant, far-off place mentally, and she just started destroying Sonya Deville. Didn't give a shit about referee Jess counting to 10. And when it was all said and done, man, Morgan and Deville double count out. Morgan, post-match, situates about 6 or 7 steel chairs in the middle of the ring, brings Deville to the top rope, and proceeds to suplex Deville from the top rope onto the steel chairs below. A spot you would see like in a pay-per-view match with a couple of dudes. Morgan is just doing these spots just on fucking TV, just to take out her opponent and maybe feel some fucking pain herself. That's what we're doing with Liv Morgan these days, and BC is here for it. She once again is just elevating herself. Once again, Liv Morgan taking it to the extreme. Once again, Liv Morgan showing everybody why she is so fucking good right now. Liv Morgan showing everybody why she is one of the best in the business today in the women's division. And that's not just talking talent or skill, guys, before everybody flips out. What? Huh? Which, by the way, her skill and her talent is really good too. But I'm saying she's checking off every fucking box right now. And you can't say that about a lot of women in today's professional, not even in WWE, not in AEW. You can't do that. You have all the talent in the world, it's just not being used properly. They're not elevating themselves, or they haven't in a really long fucking time. Not even AEW's world champion Toni Storm can you say that about. It was so good to see her and fucking have finally a good match. Get some time, be booked in something that we gave a shit about with Sheeta this past week. Other than that, they're in weird teams like Thunderstorm. You know, there's people that we should be talking about them in such high regards because of their talent, because of their skill, because we know what they can do. And unfortunately, we can't talk about them in such high regards. They're just not booked that way. Liv Morgan is getting that fucking time. Liv Morgan is not letting one show pass and letting it fall to the wayside. She's not wasting any motions, any fucking minutes when she gets them. She utilizes every moment and every minute to its fullest. Liv Morgan, salute, another fucking level right now. And a lot of people are now comparing her to Harley Quinn. We used to hear this with who was it? Alexa Bliss, right? When she's got like a little Harley Quinn going on. Then Liv Morgan, always the comparisons with Harley Quinn. There's been a lot of females which they get compared to a Harley Quinn type character. Listen, if she wants to go that route, that's fine. But a lot of people are starting to say, oh, she's going to fit great with Bray Wyatt, or we think this is the beginnings of her with Bray Wyatt. I don't see it that way. She doesn't need that, actually. What she's doing right now, this new extreme character, it's going to work just fine. And how would that work with Alexa? You're just kind of replacing her, and it doesn't feel or seem correct. And BC was one of the first people to tell you guys, when Bray started this whole thing and The Fiend and Sister Abigail, we were thinking, hey, what if there was a Sister Abigail? BC said Liv Morgan would be perfect. And instead they had Liv Morgan come back in some weird lesbian type storyline with Lana or something like that. But instead of doing something with Bray. So then they went with Alexa, and you know what? It worked. It worked brilliantly. Top rated segments. Highest fucking rated with all the social media buzz, merchandise flying off the shelves. To this day, Lily is still one of the highest fucking merch grabbers on the shelves. Lily, the fucking doll. So Alexa and that character and Alexa and Bray Wyatt was just a phenomenal hit. Whether you liked it or not, that's in the eye of the beholder. That's your prerogative. But they were absolutely a smash hit, business-wise. It just doesn't make sense to just replace Alexa now with Liv. Again, I was the first to say Liv Morgan and Bray Wyatt, fuck yes. But Alexa ended up getting the role, and she knocked it out of the park Grand Slam fashion. And if anything's going to happen with a female with Bray Wyatt, it's got to be Alexa Bliss. Liv Morgan is fine right now with that extreme character. Keep elevating that character. Keep conditioning that character. Keep the momentum high. And the sky is the limit for Liv Morgan. She doesn't need no Bray Wyatt. So I'm actually against that now. Even though I was the first one to say it should happen many moons ago, now I'm saying she's fine. Alexa needs the boost now. Alexa and Bray has to happen at some point down the line. That story ended without a conclusion. She turned on Bray. No answers were ever no questions, I should say, were ever answered. Yeah, basically, remember she said afterward? No, she didn't really, though. There was never a really culminating moment with them that decidingly ended it. They're just not. There was no turn that satisfied BC. There was no explanation afterwards that satisfied BC and so many of you guys. There's unfinished business. That's where I'll leave it. So Liv Morgan destroys Deville during the match for the double count out and post-match. Hour number 1 then ends with an LA Knight video package. How cool is that? We're actually doing character development in WWE now. What a crazy concept. Could you guys imagine if they spent the time to make the fans value the wrestlers, give the fans a reason to care about the wrestlers? Could you imagine what that would do for the wrestlers, for the fans, and for the company? We haven't done it for over 10 years. Last night, I saw character fucking development with so many people. From Omos to Damage Control to LA Knight to Morgan. So fucking awesome to see character development. And I got a question for you. I'll wait until I go to hour number 2, actually. And I got a question for you guys. Hour number 1, first of all, as I said, ends with the LA Knight video package. So good to see. And a preview teaser for Monday's title match between Bianca Belair, Raw Women's Champion, and challenger Bayley. Another match between the two. This one will be on Monday Night Raw. And BC couldn't help but think, because it caught my eye, man, they'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina for that title match. Charlotte, North Carolina. Ric Flair country. Charlotte, North Carolina. Did I mention that? Yeah, a little bit of woo, right? I told you guys they were not set with giving the title to Bayley. Remember I told you that weeks ago? I was the only person to report this. There's other people sitting on this news, by the way. reputable people, you guys know. They just don't want to say it because it's not concrete, and maybe they feel that it's not enough of a word to break it. And then it ends up being false, and they're like, oh, what the fuck? But I don't even care. If I'm wrong, then it doesn't make me any more wrong in the report, in the news itself. And that's that WWE, I said this weeks ago, they were not sold on giving the title to Bayley, and we were hearing that Charlotte Flair's name was being brought up to be the one to go to the red brand and take the title off of Bianca. And then what happened, guys? They didn't give the title to Bayley. And then the rumbling started even more with Charlotte Flair's name. And to this day, I told you guys, it still has not been debunked. The people that told me this news, my people down in Florida, they said, no, I'm hearing nothing different. Charlotte's name is still being tossed around to get the championship. And Bayley has not gotten it yet. So now you go to Monday. I think it's clear. We're in a situation now where it's either Bayley gets it on Monday or it's going to be Charlotte Flair. And I am 1,000,000,000% correct. Even if I'm fucking wrong, I mean, it shows you that I was right all along. They don't know exactly how to give the title to either a Bayley or a Charlotte. They're stringing it along, man. They're just prolonging the process. And you're telling me that this whole Bianca Belair title reign was to lose it on a random Monday Night Raw, not even a pay-per-view, not even a Crown Jewel premium live event. It was for Monday Night Raw. That's where Bayley is going to win her championship, in the middle of a Monday Night Raw. I honestly believe they don't know what they're really doing yet, or they want to give it to Charlotte. So then it becomes a game of, who do you guys give it to? Do you give it to Bayley, or do you have Charlotte come back to the red brand to get another fucking championship, number 76, just so she can pass her father? It's becoming ridiculous. It's not shade to Charlie Flair. Ashley Flair, the human. It's not shade. This is like, there's not a connection. With the majority of the fans, there's not a connection to Charlotte, yet she always wins championships. She's always in that fucking title picture. And her talent is not any more special, in fact, even less than a Sasha Banks, even an Io, and even Bianca Belair at this point. It's going to take more than a natural selection and a half-ass moonsault in a figure 8 leg lock to make me say Charlotte is exceptional. She can't stand to sell. When she wants to sell, she's decent. She can't stand to sell. She is not good on defense. And way too many times, she just goes into business for herself. Always just wants to be on fucking offense, like a Nia Jax or a Thunder Rosa. No, I'm not going to put her in elite category status, man, and she always comes back right into the title. And you're telling me she's the one who's going to fucking dethrone Bianca? What the fuck is that doing for Bianca or the company or the fans? So there's still time left, is my point, for WWE to do the right thing. Even if it means on a Monday Night Raw, stupidly, because it should be at a pay-per-view, because it does justice to Bianca and it does justice to Bayley. It does justice to the person who's ending the title reign, and it does justice to the person that's becoming champion. When you do it on a television show, it's not as fucking prestigious. The moment isn't as elevated as it should be. But who gives a fuck at this point? It's Bayley or bust. It cannot be Charlie, bro. And the way they're setting this up to be on a Monday Night Raws where they're doing this match, it's almost like somehow Bianca's going to keep it, and then it's Charlie Flair that's going to return and be the one to dethrone Bianca down the line. They're already trying to hype up a Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair fucking rematch. I've been seeing a lot of fucking teases to them too. I don't know. There's still time to not do that. That's my point. So I think this was Bayley's culminating moment from day one, and they just prolonged it because the Charlotte Flair talk, man, how are we going to bring back Charlotte? And they always panic because they're like, if it's not in a title picture, people are really not going to give a fuck. They fail to realize that we don't give a fuck when she does come back in the title picture. In fact, she gets even more heat because she comes right back into the title picture. I just wanted to send that over to you guys. It caught my eye that they were in Charlotte, North Carolina, and were rushing this third match between the two. Moving on, man. And I said I wanted to ask you guys a question. And did I forget that question? What the fuck was that question? Had something to ask. What was it? What were we talking about? LA Knight? LA Knight? What the fuck were we talking about? I had something to ask. I should have asked it right from the fucking jump. See that? Well, maybe I'll think about it later, right? Maybe it'll come to me with some more caffeine. Hold on. That's my answer for everything. Sasha just fucking giggled over there. When in doubt, more caffeine. Hour number 2, Braun Strowman and MVP. They kick off the hour. Omos eventually makes his way to the ring, and we get a pretty wild stare down between the two, Strowman and Omos. It's not often we see Strowman have to look up to another human being. We actually saw that last night. It was quite the image. Omos mega shoves Strowman right out of the ring. I mean, it was pretty... I gotta give Omos some credit, man. He backed up a step and he laid into it, and you really felt... I mean, the way Strowman sold it, you really felt like it was a behemoth push. You know, it didn't feel hokey pokey, man. He takes a step and he lays into it. Strowman gets rocked out of the ring. And I thought this was actually played off well. MVP immediately backs Omos off. Like, hold on, we're not doing this now, big boy. Omos honestly looks like he wanted more of Strowman. MVP is kind of backing him off like, not now, not now. Strowman is grinning on the outside, right? Because it's realistic. It's just a shove. He's not going to be knocked out. So he's on like one knee and he's looking up and he's got a grin like, okay, big boy, you got me. You got me on that one. And he's literally yelling that too. All right, big boy, we'll see. You got me once. You know, and he's just grinning back. Like, yeah, I could jump back in there right now. But now we're playing a little game of chess. I'm feeling you out. All right, you are a giant. I liked it, man. I actually thought this was well done. I get up front, people, including BC, we're not clamoring to see an Omos Strowman match or feud. I get it. I'm with you. Trust me. You're not alone, guys. BC losing it, man. He's fucking praising Omos and Strowman. No, I'm not. I'm not saying that I need to see this. I'm with you. But this was the first time that I actually took Omos seriously, is what I'm saying. It was the first time that he looked truly like a realistic giant, like almost a badass giant, right? I mean, you have another giant that he's towering over. The way that he shoved Strowman was beautiful. I thought it was the best way he could have done it. Immediately trying to get back to him, but listening to his fucking the boss man, MVP. You know, he's listening to him like, all right, that's the only reason I'm fucking taking 2 steps back. So it was the first time I looked at Omos like, maybe I'm see in these spots, okay, there's something fucking there. It's the first time I can say that. I'm not even trying to be mean at all. He's never been presented in the best of ways. And unless you're doing that, you know, the talent is going to be limited. Again, that's not shade. That's my critique of this. In the show that I'm fair, I'm saying that he was booked absolutely correctly and he hit it out of the park last night. It was the first time he looked truly like a realistic giant. And Strowman is left for the first time doubting his own giant status. So I felt everybody looked actually decent here, at the very least, and actually even good. My duty on these reviews is to actually review the show. It may not be what I would book. It may not even be what I like. But I'm reviewing the show presented. And if I'm doing this, if I'm presenting the show that I am viewing in the most honest way imaginable, then I have to be as honest as I possibly can be. This was a short but effective segment. I don't need to stutter over my words, man. I mean, it just was. I get you. I understand. Wow, BC, what are you talking about, man? I watched the same segment. It was trash. I understand. As just a fan, we can say that. I get it. I'm reviewing the show, though. I really take this responsibility very... I take it to another level, man, in terms of... Not seriously, because it's a hobby that I love to do. The word I would use is I take this very honorably, that so many people choose BC to listen to on a review of a wrestling show. that people choose to watch BC, to listen to BC break down and dissect these shows. I take that very honorably. It's a much better word than seriously, because again, this is a hobby that I love to do. I love talking about pro wrestling. I would do it with nobody listening. I just would. I always talked about pro wrestling. I always will. It's just what I love. But I take these reviews and these shows and these productions, I take them very honorably. The fact that you guys choose BC, and I want to give you the most honest of reviews. So as a fan, we can just go, oh, they're trash. That was trash. I get it. But I'm actually reviewing this segment. I'm breaking it down. I'm dissecting the performances, what it leads to. Was it effective? Yes. More yes than no with this. If I'm being an honest critic of the show, which is what I do pride myself on. So salute to Omos and Strowman. Keep that shit up, man. Heading in the right direction, hopefully, right? Women's Tag Team Championship match. Damage Control. Dakota Kai and Io Sky versus Shotzi and Raquel. Shotzi has the tank. The tank is back. She shoots a pyro rocket, dude. She has a fucking, like, one of those old Atari controllers. Presses a button. A fucking pyro rocket shoots out of the fucking cannon of the tank right up to the ceiling of the arena. Oh, bro, I miss this Shotzi. It was a good match, lots of action. As much as I rant about Damage Control's booking because it just doesn't make sense to me, they just haven't been booked as a legit badass faction, and they should be because it's three amazing wrestlers like Io, Dakota, and Bayley. I mean, come on, how do you fuck that up? But Bayley's winning percentage is under 40%, and it took a couple of times for Dakota and Io to even win the championships. I mean, Aaliyah won the titles before them. In fact, Aaliyah rolled them up on a couple of occasions. It's just really odd booking. But last night, man, were those concerns put to bed, at least for one night, one show. As much as I complain about their booking, it is so badass to see Dakota Kai and Io Shirai. It's so awesome to see them together wrestling. Individually, it would be awesome for BC anyway, because I respect them so much. But to see them together, it really makes you think, damn, well, we are witnessing something so special. Io and Dakota as a tag team. It was the first time I really got to appreciate it last night because it's the first time that WWE put them in a real tag match. Like a tag team match that felt like a tag team match. That I was actually into. Meant something. The finish saw Bayley cause a distraction on Shotzi. Io capitalizes and hits her moonsault, subsequently pinning Shotzi middle of the ring. Big W for Control, man. I really don't think Shotzi and Raquel lose any. Raquel, I don't know. I don't even think they have a direction for Raquel. I think Shotzi is just starting a resurgence in WWE, and I hope that continues. As for Damage Control, massive W here. And you're thinking, well, BC, this was just the middle of SmackDown tag title match. I don't know about massive. No, it's massive. I've been ranting about their booking. While Io and Dakota's winning percentage and win-loss is a little better than Bayley at least, they needed a real tag team match victory. This is the first time I can honestly say that. All the other tag matches, I almost couldn't even give a shit, and it's Io and Dakota in the match. I never thought I'd say that. Last night, man, I got to appreciate just how fucking good Io and Dakota really, truly are. And it's so fucking special. And if you just build a tag division and you allow them to have, crazy concept here, Sash, actual tag matches, sky's the limit. You know, and you'll get shit like we saw last night with that tag title match. Backstage promo by LDF and their newest acquisition, Zelena Vega. She looks great with them. She truly does. I know there was a mixed reaction of Zelena joining LDF, but I gotta be honest, man. The look is there. Now, how they're booked going forward, I get it. Time will tell, remains to be seen. But as of now, the look of them, the feel of LDF with Zelena, fully on board. And you know, with Zelena coming back within the last couple of weeks, so obviously you knew that the talk was a couple weeks before that, bare minimum, right? I mean, her return within the last couple of weeks, and here I mean, that takes some time, right? You have to know what your appearance is going to be, what you're involved in, be ready for it. So you look at a solid fucking month up front that Zelena knew her date coming back. That was right around the time where Malachi Black was asking for his release. September, what was it? Early September is when he released the statement that he asked for his release. It was right around the time where Zelena was getting ready to, was probably getting the info on her return, or at least some type of direction. And that's when Malachi started really coming out publicly with the problems he had with AEW. And he said that the company made him promises. AEW made Malachi promises, and they remained unfulfilled. So he asked for his release. That was Malachi's words. But Tony Khan did not grant the release. And now, once word got out that Tony is no longer granting releases, Malachi then put out a video saying, I don't know where that would come from, that I got released. Well, you're the one who broke the news that you asked for it, and then you took off. You took a bow at All Out, and you were gone. You took a bow, man. What else were you supposed to think? You asked for your release. You said that. And then you took a bow and you left. And people go, oh, he got released. What the fuck you think we're doing? Don't play games. and then it was Tony Khan, his own boss, that said that he signed a 5-year deal, so he's not going anywhere. And then in the same video, Malachi goes, I don't know where people are getting 5 years from. That is absolutely stupid. He knows the whole wrestling world was talking about it. Because it's very rare that a promoter, a boss, will tell everybody how long a talent is under contract. Very rarely does that happen. That's why we were all shocked when Tony Khan just came out and said that Malachi is signed for 5 years. I mean, we were all shocked. Are you telling me that Malachi is the only guy under the sun that didn't know that his own boss broke the news? That's bullshit. He knew. So in the video, he sent a little shot back over to Tony. My point is, there's no question now with Zelena's now return to WWE. There's no question that that's where Malachi wants to be. And he tried. And it looks like Tony just shut the door on him. I don't know if you guys would just let him out of what he probably perceives as prison now. We used to say that with WWE when Vince would not let people leave when they wanted to. Well, now you're just holding people. So on one hand, you say, well, they signed a contract. They have to honor it. I totally get that. That's true. But if you're that unhappy as a boss, would you even want somebody working for you that is that miserable? Are they going to give you 110%? I don't know. I don't think Malachi is necessarily going to half-ass it for Tony. I just hope the same for Malachi. I hope Tony doesn't half-ass the booking for Malachi when he comes back. Anyway, that's a little side rant as well. Lots of coffee, lots of sugar, man. BC's just hitting on all fucking cylinders right now. Rey Mysterio versus Ludwig Kaiser. This was the wrestling main event. The main event segment itself was reserved for a Logan Paul promo. So the wrestling main event was Mysterio versus Kaiser. Left more to be desired for a wrestling main event. Solid high-octane match. Rey pulled an Eddie Guerrero late in this match to get Gunther and Vinci kicked out from ringside. He threw a steel chair toward Gunther. Gunther just Hulk smashes it down, and Rey just falls down. Referee sees this, thinks that Rey was hit by a chair by Gunther and Vinci, so he kicks Imperium out, or Gunther and Vinci out from ringside. So, and I love when that happens because the referee. This is the only time I want a referee to get animated. Like in AEW, the referees are way over animated. They've toned it down actually. I know a lot of them listen to BC in that locker room. If you notice, the referees toned it down a lot. When AEW first started, the referees were basically making themselves a part of the match like the talent. You can't do that. You know, you got to be the third dude. You got to be the fucking dude in the court. You got to just subtly be a part of the match. They were like the third fucking dude, or if it's a tag match, they're the fifth guy. But the one time I love to see the ref animated is when they're kicking somebody out from ringside and they fucking wind it up like Earl Hebner used to do, and they wind it. It's like Fred Flintstone fucking before the car drives off in the Flintstones. You first your feet are on the floor, literally. There's no bottom to the car. So they're winding they're running in place, and then all of a sudden the car goes off. He's winding it, and you're out. I love it, bro. So Gunther and Vinci are kicked out. Old school Eddie Guerrero trickery. Gotta love that shit. And not long after Imperium's removal, Rey hits the 619 on Kaiser for the W. So nothing really to note here. I mean, obviously that was going to happen. No way Rey's getting beat by fucking Kaiser. And it's a welcome to SmackDown for Rey Mysterio, I guess. I don't know where we go from there now. Now it's officially done with him and Dominic. What's Rey's direction? You know what I mean? It's going to be pretty cool to see Gunther absolutely destroy. I mean, I say this with all respect to Rey Mysterio. We all respect him. We all love him. But Gunther has to, at some point, absolutely destroy this motherfucker like nobody ever has. It has to happen. You can just see it. Logan Paul ends the show, calls those that doubt him dummies. I loved that, bro. Those that doubted me are just dummies. Well, those that don't like you are really not going to like you now. You just called them fucking dummies. He's jumped by an Uso gone rogue. And what I mean by that is earlier in the night, Sami told Bloodline that he got a message from Roman himself that Roman doesn't want anybody getting involved with Logan Paul's promo last night. Nobody get involved. Just wait till Roman gets to SmackDown next week. So Jay Uso's like, that's just not what we do. We hyped. We ready. You know, I got a little bit of a temper, he tells him, or something like that, and he storms off out of the locker room, and Bloodline's like, Sammy's like, he's not serious, is he? So Jay ends up going rogue, jumps Logan Paul against Roman's wishes, and he's beat him up pretty good, gives him a fucking Rikishi stink face, and Sami jumps up on the apron, hits the ringside, jumps up on the apron, and Sammy's trying to tell Jay, get out of the ring. He's not asking him, he's demanding, or the tribal chief is going to be pissed. So Jay's like, all right. Jay goes to get out, and boom, turns around, goes to deliver another Rikishi stink face, and Logan Paul is able to duck out of the way. Jay hits the fucking turnbuckles with velocity back first and goes right into a Logan Paul right fucking, not a right fucking hook. I don't know what it was, but he threw a fucking punch and, wrestling-wise, knocked out Jay Uso. So Logan Paul gets that one shot, and that's how it was being sold by Michael Cole. He got his one shot, and Logan Paul is looking at the hard cam, and he's like, one shot. So I actually like how that was well played, because he did tell Roman, I understand I'm the underdog, I understand people are giving me no chance, but all I have to do is get one shot. All I need is one shot. And I like how they actually did that there. He was getting beat up by Jay, but it just took one distraction and one shot, and Jay was flatlined. I like the story that was told. I really do, man. And then Sammy's looking at Jay like, oh, fuck, what did I do? Jay's going to be pissed. And that's how the show ended. Sammy's looking at Jay like, dude, I'm sorry, but it was Roman. And Jay's looking at Sami like, you motherfucker. Run and don't stop till you fucking cross the fucking Bahamas. Jump in the fucking ocean. Keep swimming. Find yourself in fucking Germany, fucking get yourself a hat that goes over your fucking face, give yourself a new alias, and fucking keep running. Because if I get you, bam, zoom to the moon. Cameron Grimes to the moon. Oh, man, BC's off the rails. And Logan Paul ends the night going, one shot, and we fade to black. So, I like the story that was told there. All in all, guys, was it the best episode of SmackDown? No, but damn, the character development. Things are making sense. It was an enjoyable show from top to bottom. You know what I mean? It's such a good start if we could just keep that momentum. And I remember too, man, the caffeine is helping. See that? I remember what I was going to ask you guys, man. Is it BC or is on SmackDown they say wrestling a lot more? You guys let me know if you made it this far. I mean, or is it Monday Night Raw? They say the same amount of wrestling now. But it just seems like Fox wants Michael Cole to say wrestling a lot more. There were several times, even when Michael Cole said sports entertainment, he followed it up immediately after with sports entertainment and professional wrestling. And he said wrestling so many times last night. And I know that's a new thing now because H is allowing that and he actually wants that to go to the forefront to make you know that there's a change, right? But I got to be honest with you guys, man. I don't hear that enough, or I don't believe I do anyway, on Monday Night Raw. Maybe a few times. Maybe. But SmackDown, and that's just a 2-hour show. I heard it so many times. It's almost like Fox, and Fox we know, Fox Sports, they really want to be sports-centric. So it's almost like they want professional wrestling to be looked at more as the sport, a little bit less of the entertainment. And I know that's going to make some fans fucking like all giddy, right? Well, that's what it should be. Fuck sports entertainment, man. It's pro wrestling. I get it. I want the words too. But don't get it twisted, guys. Pro wrestling is entertainment. It has to be. You have to have the characters that are fucking out of the box, and you got to have the storylines. I mean, if you think a pro wrestling show should just be 5 or 6 fucking banger matches, and then we wait to see what Melty Boy rates them, right? We see all these cool moves during the night, and that's pro wrestling. No, that's not. It's never going to survive that way. Everybody knows it's fucking scripted. It's predetermined. It's heavily rehearsed. It's not actual fucking competition, man. Pro wrestling, at the heart and soul, is still an entertainment show. I can't stress that enough. In 2022, we tried to change the rules of pro wrestling. I understand that things evolve, but make sure that it's actually evolving and not fucking devolving. Regressing. Make sure it's not going backwards, man. You know, you wouldn't give a fucking, the NBA wouldn't start using footballs. The NFL wouldn't start using basketballs. You can't change the foundation upon which something was built upon. The entertainment has to fucking be there. But I love how Fox is, it seems like anyway, that Fox is telling WWE to use the words wrestling more. I'm all for it, man. I'm here for that shit. But I've always told you guys, I was always honest from day one. I love the term sports entertainment because it's the perfect word to describe. The perfect hyphenated word. Throw that shit together. To describe what pro wrestling is. It's like half sports because of the athleticism and shit, but it's entertainment. I don't know. I think Vince hit it out of the park with that fucking word. I just don't like the fact that he didn't allow the word wrestling for so many years. I mean, that's absolutely fucking asinine. And to hear both being used today, I love that shit. All right. That's what BC's got, man. Did I keep you guys here for a fucking hour? Get out of here. Go fucking whoop ass of your weekend, man. I appreciate all the love and support. Smash that motherfucking up on the way out. And until next time, man, we got Halloween Havoc tonight. Maybe I can cut a review of that tomorrow. My Yankees are on. I shouldn't even watch. I mean, they're just getting their asses fucking handed to them by the Astros in the playoffs. I knew we were not going to win. And even if we fucking did fairly, they would find a way to cheat anyway. So either way, we were not going to win this series. But damn, can we get some offense going? It's a good thing I don't review the Yankees. Oh my God. Wow, man. That'd be a 5-hour review of me just screaming. Salute to all you guys, man. Whether I cover Halloween Havoc tomorrow or not, I will be talking to you guys early next week for sure. Hopefully we could do something Monday before Monday Night Raw. We'll see. All right, go kick your weekend's ass, guys. Go crush it. Top Guy, and I'm out. BC saying check you. Sasha, you know what you got to do. On the way out, you got to hit my mother fucking music.
I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding